Hey y'all, this is Retha.
Hey, this is Deandra, and you are now listening to.
Coffee Heals and Conversation podcast.
So grab your coffee and listen in.
Hey y'all, hey, what's up? Happy New Year.
What's up? It's 2023.
2020, I was about to say 2022, and I do that every year.
But we
Every
don't,
year.
child, we don't need to go back. Hello?
Hello, not at all. We need to go forward.
Mm-hmm.
So happy New Year, y'all. We are back for another 2023 episode, I guess. But before we get into that, we're gonna do our usual church announcements, which is what coffee are we drinking? I will start. I'm having regular degular coffee from the Church of Walmart. It's called Donut Shop, and I guess it's supposed to be like, I don't know. I guess obviously Donut Shop would be like more sweeter than whatever. It's not. It's just real regular. So it's regular degular coffee with regular degular vanilla creamer. That's it. Nothing fancy.
Well, I guess mine's is a little bit more fancy.
Of course it
It's
is, because you are more fancy than me.
no, I don't know about that. You were actually more fancy when it comes to coffee. Let's be real about that. So I have what is it called? It's a Dunkin' Donut brand
Okay.
pumpkin spice coffee with
Okay.
some oat milk creamer, and it's actually pretty good. I don't put sugar in my coffee.
Yeah, me
I
neither.
literally put creamer, and that's it.
I only put sugar in my coffee when I'm going to Dunkin'.
Yeah, I rarely ever put sugar anymore. I used to put sugar before, but I find that it's fine just with creamer.
No, yeah, it is. It's
But
usually really good.
y'all need to send us some coffee suggestions. I'm going to put
For real.
y'all need to, because we need some suggestions.
That should be y'all goal for 2023. Send us coffee suggestions. That's what it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of coffee suggestions, there is a black-owned coffee
Oh,
brand.
that's right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need to look into that again.
Yes,
I
we
don't
do.
fully remember everything about them, but
Yeah.
we'll find it. All right, so this episode will be about our 2023 goals. Since last episode was about what we learned from 2022, now we're going to move on. We're going to forge on to 2023.
Forge.
And what did we learn? So, Rita, what is your first goal for 2023?
My goal is consistency.
Mm.
Consistency with like this podcast, weight loss, self-care, and my blog. Because I did like get some good momentum last year with all of that, especially the working out and stuff like that, and my blog and self-care. So just want to like continue in that and just be like more consistent, and then just consistent with the podcast, because we ain't been, as you guys see, we ain't been consistent. So we're trying to work on that. But I just want to be consistent because it's just one of the things I like realized, like that's just important just in life, is to be consistent. And like, especially like with like things like self-care, it's like, okay, if you say you love yourself, you're going to sacrifice certain things just like you sacrifice for everybody else. So like taking that lesson of like learning to love myself and sacrificing for others is like sacrifice for yourself.
Right.
Whatever that means. And also just like, I'm also tired of having the same goal every year with like my body. Mind you, I did a lot last year. I did work out a lot. I just had, unfortunately, an injury that happened like in October that kind of like messed me up working out wise or whatever.
Right.
And then I also got tired of eating the same crap. So also like bringing more variety to what I'm eating so I'm not bored, because I was just eating the chicken breast, and I'm like, I'm tired of chicken. Like I never thought I would be tired of chicken, but I'm tired of chicken. But anyway, so just like bringing variety to that so that it doesn't get so like boring. But also just in that accepting my body, which is a form of self-care and self-love, accepting my body where it is, right?
Yeah.
And not saying things like, I will be happy when I get, it's like, no, I'm just gonna be happy with my body as it is now. So I've really been working on that. Just even this weekend, because like one of my friends, we celebrated her birthday, whatever. And I remember like getting ready and I had all these thoughts. And I was like, no. I'm not going to sit there and have these negative thoughts.
Right.
my body and myself. I'm gonna look good, and I did. Hello.
Right. Hello.
It's just like my body may not be where I want it to be, but it for
Mm.
dang sure ain't where it used to be.
Right.
And just also like accepting myself like in my current state.
Mm-hmm.
Like Miss Kev on stage says, I am worth it as is
Mm-hmm.
without
Without
change, without
change, without
hello, without
exception.
exception. So just embodying that and like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but yeah, and then with my blog, I'm just like, I was better this year. I will
You
say,
did really good this year.
thank you, friend.
Well, last
'Cause,
year, last year.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? I know what you're saying. 'Cause it's like I looked back and I'm like, dang, I have actually never like written consistently for a full year, and I'm like, girl. But like I feel like I did a lot better because I know it's something that I feel like in this season, like God is calling me to really like do consistently.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, I didn't do it like every week, but since July, I do have at least 2 or 3 every month since July. So it's like, okay, that's good. So just continuing on that,
Mm-hmm.
and then like being consistent with that and wherever that leads or wherever that goes, like just being consistent with it and
Yeah.
not worrying about. I think for me, it's like, well, I don't have, because I don't, to be honest, I don't have like hella subscribers. So it's like, who's reading it? It's like, okay, it's not about that. It's about
Right.
God has called you to do something. So therefore you
Mm-hmm.
do it. Or even like, well, I don't feel like I'm in like a good like space mentally or spiritually, whatever the case. So this is like, okay, this is still what he's called you to do.
Mm-hmm.
So do it. Cause I have literally written blogs while I'm like full on crying because I'm just like struggling with other things. And he's just like, girl, I told you to do it. Just do it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
just continuing to do that and be consistent. And then self care, of course, continuing therapy,
Mm-hmm.
continuing like, um, making sure. So, like, because one of the things I realized, because I remember at one point I was trying to figure out how to say this, sorry. At one point, no, I'm just gonna say it. At one point, I was talking to this guy, and it was just like I didn't check in with myself to see if I really actually wanted to actually have a conversation with him in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I pushed myself to have a conversation, and then like we talked a little bit, and then it ended, and I was just like, you really should have just checked in with yourself to see, because you like it's like I learned to like check in with yourself because it's like I knew that I really didn't want to talk at that moment because I was
Mm-hmm.
trying to do stuff or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I pushed past my own boundaries, and then it ended up not being like the best experience. So it's just like next time something like that happens and you have that hesitation, check in with yourself and say, Doretha, do you want to do this right now?
Right.
So I had a friend of mine call me and I just wasn't in the space to talk.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like, Doretha, do you want to call this person back? And it was just like, you know what, right now I don't. And like sitting in that. So like that's a form for me of self-care because I will run my own boundaries
Mm-hmm.
to accommodate other people sometimes, or because I'm so used to the other side is like like I'm so used to being like hindered by fear.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like, no, you gotta do it, you gotta do it. And so it's like learning that balance is like sometimes you actually just need to check in with yourself. And it may not be fear that's coming up for you, maybe just like you're not in the space for it.
Right.
So learning to like, okay, let me check in with myself. Is this When am I feeling? And literally I asked myself the question like, do you feel like, and I was like, no. And it wasn't anything to do with the person. It wasn't anything like that. It's just like, I just didn't feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. Instead of like always running over my boundaries because I have had a tendency to allow fear to stop me. So I always like, no, let's just do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also learning like to pull back and be like, okay, hold on. This may not be a fear thing. Check in with yourself and how you're feeling.
Right.
And then go from there. And then also like just accepting whatever the answer is.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, like if any of you follow me on social media, y'all be seeing I'll be at the museums and the things. So just continuing to do those things, continuing to do the things that bring me joy.
Right. Yeah. I like that.
Thank you. What about
You're
you?
welcome. Well, my first goal is the same as yours, is to be consistent. I have been very much not in several areas. So definitely, I obviously first and foremost is my weight. have not been consistent with losing weight. I was going real hard, like the beginning of 2022. I feel like I had a whole trainer and everything. Yeah, that went by the wayside. But also podcasts. I have not been consistent with the podcast. I let a lot of things like kind of like knock me off of that, like especially with having like back to back people die in my family. Like
Yeah.
that kind of didn't obviously nobody expects that, but it's also like
Yeah.
you don't really I mean, there's a weird thing with death, like either death makes you feel like everything is important and you need to like it makes you hyper focus on some things. And then
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it also makes you hyper slack. Like you just be like, nothing matters
Mm-hmm.
because why am I doing all this? Because we're all gonna die anyway. And that's really dramatic, but it's also like sometimes you just feel like that. It's like I'm not doing all this. It
Mm-hmm.
don't matter. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. I can't take any of this with me. So that happened. But I've been slacking with the podcast, which has also caused me to slack in our interaction as co-hosts and friends. Like I think we've done good with maintaining our friendship, but it's still like that
Mm-hmm.
awkward, like,
Yeah.
girl, you doing horrible. And I'm like, I know, doing really bad. But
We have like a
like,
whole conversation
right,
before we start recording.
right, exactly. It's like you're a great friend, but you're a horrible podcast host. I'm gonna need you to figure it out. So like that's definitely a thing that I need to work on. Because at the end of the day, like we have been great friends over this last like couple years. And I'm like, I wouldn't want that to be the reason why we end up like, nah, I don't really been with her no more. You know? So
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
so then also that I need to be consistent with my businesses. So like I had my candles and everything
Mm-hmm.
that I was doing. And then even like the planner stuff that I was talking about
Yeah.
before. And the thing is, it's not having the lack of like materials because I have everything that I need to do everything that I want to do. I just don't be doing it. So yeah, I need to work on that. So that's my consistent goal.
That's good.
Thanks, friend. All right, what is
That's
your
good.
second goal?
My next goal is discipline because, motivation is one thing, but it's like one of my friends that I've known for a long time will just like he'll post on Facebook and just talk about like, because he's working out and stuff like that. And he's like,
Mhm.
at this point it's discipline. And I'm like, fam, because it's like literally that's what I need to do is be disciplined with my weight loss journey and not like not like slack off because, oh, I don't feel like it today. And I'm like, I've
Mhm.
gotten a lot better at that
Yeah.
than I used to be, but I want to get even better to where it's just like, okay, you need to go. And then making sure that I do the other things. Because there's sometimes like for instance, one of the things I try to do is like, especially when I'm like on point, is I'll cook for the week on like Sunday.
Mhm.
But then it's like if I haven't cooked for the week, then I do it that Monday. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna go to the gym because I have all this stuff I gotta do
Mhm.
and da 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 da. And so it's like, okay, making sure that I'm like consistent and disciplined with cooking for the week. So that Monday, I have no excuse. I have no
Right.
like, because Mondays is the day that I'd be like, but I'll go on Wednesday and Friday and Saturday. It's like, okay, but you need to go on Monday as well. So it's just
Right.
like
Yeah.
being like consistent or me being disciplined in terms of like, no, you need to go. Unless like, now mind you, if I have an appointment because my schedule is kind of wonky right now, then that would be a reason. But other stuff, it's like, you know, being more disciplined with that and like being disciplined with how I eat and like my relationship with food and stuff like that. Cause like
Mhm.
when you become self aware, I will know for a fact that I'm eating emotionally and I'll still do it. Don't taste as good as it used to, but it's like, okay, I know. So it's just like, okay, instead of doing that, being disciplined, like I know I don't feel good. I know I feel something emotionally. Instead of letting that out with how I'm eating,
Mhm.
maybe journaling and saying, okay, this is what I'm feeling right now, writing a little note to talk to my therapist about whatever. So, and then also being disciplined with the podcast and like posting on our social media and stuff like that, like being more disciplined with that.
Mhm.
Because every time where she'll send me an episode, and I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't see it. Let me go throw it up. And it's like, okay, check in, like being disciplined about that too.
Mhm.
And even with like my blog, being disciplined about, okay, like I know you don't feel like posting on your blog IG every day, but you got to do it.
Right.
So being more disciplined with like having a schedule and honoring the schedule, because when I tell you, I have so many calendar reminders on this phone that I be ignoring,
Right.
you know? And so, yeah, like, yeah. So that's the second one.
I like it. I like it a lot. That should have been mine, but I should have stole that one.
Okay.
All right. So my second or next goal is going to be to show up for myself. So that looks like it kind of goes in with being consistent, but also like doing the things that I said I was going to do.
Mm,
And also because I will show up for everybody else, but not
yeah.
show up for me. And like I
Mhm,
feel like we said this last year was like when you let yourself down, like you break promises to yourself, but you won't break them
mhm.
to anybody else.
Yeah.
So that kind of like my goal again to like stop breaking promises to myself, show up for myself. If I'm going to do something, do it. Whether it's like almost like whether it's turns out the way I wanted to or not, like still do it. Um, like do more things for me
Mhm,
and not because there's a direct like it affects anybody else. Like just let it affect
mhm,
me. Like if it's okay, like if it's like something like even like the candles, like if I make them and
mhm.
nobody buys them, I still did it for me.
Yeah,
So that's my thing. That's my second goal.
that's really good. I need to steal that one. 'Cause showing up for yourself is important. Because that's the thing, like, one thing about me that people always say is that I'm reliable, but it's like the person that I'm like I'm getting better with
Mhm.
that, but it's like, the person I'm, like, not reliable for is myself.
Right.
So
Right.
that's good. My next goal, I'm already on this journey, but just continuing on the journey of healing. Last year was a hell of a lot with healing. I had whoo child. When I tell you, I had like so much stuff come up, like family stuff. I
Mhm.
had like friend stuff. I had like work stuff. I had so much stuff come up last year. And even the fact that like the way that I started the year is like, if you follow me on social media, you've seen my post, but the way that I started the year was like, I wanted to die. I didn't want to be here no more.
Mhm.
So just the fact that I made it through last year, thank you, Jesus. But it's
Hallelujah.
like but it sent me on a very, 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 very deep healing journey, even with like dealing with like things about my faith and stuff like that too. Like it really, really, I was on a journey and still on that journey.
Mhm.
I feel like I cried enough tears to fill the Pacific Ocean or something. Um, me and my dramatic self. But
Right.
like, I just want to continue on that journey because as much as I complain about it, it's actually been a good journey for me to really
Yeah.
like begin to really, really heal and see myself and really like, keep up with my boundaries and like change my mindset about myself. It's like it's honestly been one of the best things I could have done,
Mhm.
honestly. Because I see because it ended up allowing me to allow things in my life that I hadn't allowed in my life ever,
Yeah.
or not maybe not ever, but like in a way that was like, huh, So yeah, I just want to continue on that journey, continue to get better, continue to get closer to God, continue to be intimate with God, continue to just allow him in to heal me and also allow him to use the therapist to help me too. Cause I'm very practical. I need tools. So it's like
Mhm.
it's been great to be in therapy because she's given me like really good tools that I like have been using.
Mhm.
Um, sometimes you kind of fall off because of holidays and all that stuff. But like the things like I want to continue to use and like apply in my life and in my journey. So I just want to continue on my journey of healing and kind of looking forward to seeing what I uncover this year and what
Right.
things come up or whatever, even though it is scary as hell. It is something that I want to continue on because like I don't want it to become because sometimes it can kind of become your identity. So
Right.
I'm trying to make sure that it doesn't become that. But like when you're in healing, it's like that's what you think about. But
Mhm.
like I also just like want to continue on this journey to become the woman that God created me to be, the woman that He intended me to be, and not be who I think people want me to be. And
Right.
also like to get to the point where I don't care what you think I should be or what your opinion is of me. Even though I'm getting better with that, it's like I still need to improve in that because I'll find myself, oh, I wonder what these people think and I noticed this and it's like, okay, who cares? Like they don't some of these people, especially people on social media that you like may connect with or may know, they don't really know me. They don't really. Some
Right.
people know me, but some people don't. And so they only know what they see, and they have no idea what my story is. So it's
Mhm.
like, why am I letting these people affect me in any way? Because I don't even really know my story like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, continuing to like care less about what people think in terms of like their opinion of me,
Mhm.
and solely care about what God and me think. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because I know He's with me. He shows up in crazy ways. So it's just like. Just want to continue on that journey
I like that.
of self-love.
That is a cute shirt. I like it.
It's from Belief in Fatherhood. That
Oh, you got
organization.
it. Oh, that's
Mhm.
cool. I
Yeah.
definitely missed that drop, but I like
Yeah,
that.
they be dropping like they literally drop for like this long. It's like,
Right,
fam,
for
come
like
on.
2.5 seconds. Like,
Yes.
if you're
I'm like,
not
let me
ready,
get it
you're
now.
not ready, and they don't
For
care.
real.
Right. So I feel like my third goal kind of goes with my first two goals. So, um, my third goal is stop doubting myself. So I think that you don't really think that you doubt yourself until like you be like, I'm gonna do this, and then you be like, for what? No one's gonna like support this. No one's going to, whatever. So you kind of like doubt that it's important to anybody else but you. So then you don't do it.
Mm.
So, but I'm going to again with the be consistent and show up for myself is also don't doubt that like I can do stuff. Like I feel like I said it before too. Steve Harvey said before like crap, I forgot the way he said it, but it was more like
Mhm.
if you say that you can't do something and then you don't, like you're right. It was like something along that type of
Mhm.
like either way you're right. Like if you can or you can't,
Yeah, I've heard
you
that
say
before,
you
yeah.
I don't forgot the way he said it. But anyway, the point is I don't know until I do it. So I'm just gonna do it. And if it comes out a hot mess, I tried. But if
Mhm.
it comes out amazing, then great. So yeah, I'm gonna like I said, believe I need to show up myself, but also believe in myself and just do what I said I wanted to do or what I think I want to do.
No, that's a good one. I need to steal that one too, because you know I be doubting.
You so silly.
I be doubting. It's like a rough start. Like, like it just a little segue. It just makes me think of like some of the things that I've been through this year. And it's like how I've said, I think I said this to you. Like I need to start seeing myself the way that y'all see me. Cause I'll be
Hmm.
like, oh my God, I'm so horrible. And I can't and it's like then y'all be like, what are you talking about? And I'll be
Right.
like, y'all don't see because like, it's like I see my flaws so much
Hmm.
that I don't take the time to say like I'm getting better, but like I don't always see like my progress or the good parts of myself. So it's just like stop doubting yourself
Right.
and just do it. And it doesn't matter if nobody else likes it. It's about you. That's a good
Right.
goal.
Thanks,
Okay,
friend.
so yeah, I got you, girl. So one of my goals is to I said living, right?
Hmm.
So
Say more
I feel like
words.
yes. So it kind of was a goal. Was it a goal last year? No, but it kind of became something. Like I remember, okay, so it's kind of just about me being just living and not
Hmm.
tripping off of what anybody else thinks, and not tripping off of me not having the things I want, like wanting a relationship or whatever, wanting a better rating job or whatever the case is, like just living and enjoying life
Hmm.
more. Because I remember earlier in last year, I was like, heck of like, oh, like so laser focused on like getting a man, right? And then I read this article on Huffington Post about how this lady was just like, she had been divorced for like 10 years or whatever, or after 10 years, when she got divorced. And then she started dating and like, was just came to this thing of like, you know what? Like, she gave up on love and was just like, I'm just gonna be out here living.
Hmm.
And one of those things where it's like, if it happens, it happens, right?
Right.
And so I want to get back to that mindset because I had that mindset. And
Hmm.
then, things happened. And then my mind kind of started to be clouded with like, oh, I want this. And it's like, okay, hold on. We need to get back to just living and enjoying life. And not being so laser focused on whatever the thing is, whether it's getting a man, whether it's having the body I want, or like me making more money, whatever the thing is, just like, let me just focus on enjoying my life as it is right now,
Mm-hmm.
and not being so focused on like what I don't have versus what I do have or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just like just living and enjoying life. Cause I'm like, when I was there, cause it was, and I happened, thank God I happened to get to that space after having the whole suicidal situation. And so
Mm-hmm.
it was like perfect. Cause it's like, okay, this is where I need to be. Like, I need to be focused on living, you know?
Right.
And so I'm working to get back to that. And like, cause I just want to keep that mindset of like, let me just enjoy life. Like, let me just, and I'm glad that like the things that like, not that it wasn't all bad things that happened last year. It was
Mm-hmm.
like really good experiences that happened to me. But it was like, I want to have these experiences, but keep that mindset. I don't
Right.
want those experiences to make me like latch on to, oh, I want this. It's like, no, this has been an amazing experience, but I'm still out here like living and just, you know, doing the things that I've wanted to do instead of like waiting on things to be perfect. I feel like I get that
Right.
from my mom. My mom will sit there and be like, oh, like she'll want to do something, but she'll want everything to be lined up
Mm-hmm.
so that she can do it. It's like learning that, like, no, like it ain't gonna be everything in a row like you want it. Just go out there and do it. So
Right.
I just want to like get back to that mindset and then just continue to live and thrive. So you may see, you know, more red hair. You may see another piercing on my face. I don't know. It's gonna be out here.
Right.
So that kind of is what brought up like the whole like red hair and the nose piercing because it was just like, let me just do the things I've been wanting to do. What
Mm-hmm.
am I waiting for?
Right.
You know? So it's just like, you never know. So it's just like getting back to that mindset of just living and enjoying life. And because it's interesting that when you cast all that stuff off, the very things that you have the desire start to come to you, and you're like, whoa, I was not expecting this.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like, but I want to like have those things potentially come, but I want to still stand and I'm just living.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. Thank you.
That is a good one. Okay, so this one is really random because it has nothing to do with nothing. But I need to read more and read the books that I said I was going to read last year. So I'm like obsessed with the bookstore. I love going to the bookstore. I love going to like secondhand bookstores and all of that. We'll buy a bunch of books that sound really interesting. We'll start the book. I will start it. I will not finish it. So I need to, and I have like probably like not even being dramatic, maybe 10 books that's what I was going to read last year that I have not started at all. I think I started like 2. So one of my, I guess like for fun goals is to like read the books that I said I was going to read, and try my hardest not to buy more books. But I'm not going to make a promise that I'm not buying more
Girl,
books. I'm just not. So yeah, that's my last,
that's
well,
good.
other
I
one.
know. I have books that at least you start your books. I will sit there and buy
Girl,
a
I
book.
only started 2. I only started 2.
This is the thing. At least you start them. I will buy books and don't start. And then
Right.
like there's this one book I bought last year and that I shared it with my therapist because I feel like it will be a good book for me to read, like for
Mm-hmm.
my own situation and my trauma healing from that.
Mm-hmm.
You think I started that book? No.
Girl. Girl, and
And
then
it's like,
it'd be so bad because when I'm in the store looking at the book, like there's nothing in me saying like you're not gonna read this. I'm like, this is amazing. I need this book. Like there's no
yes.
reason why I don't need this book. Like you cannot convince me that I don't need this book.
And you
And
can't
then
convince
the
me that I'm
book
not going to
comes
read it
home. Exactly, the book comes home,
with
and it's
every intention to read it. And then you get home and you're like, oh,
exactly
I need to read that. And it's on my bookshelf. Like my bookshelf is actually pretty a nice bookshelf. And it's like, it's just sitting up there looking at me. And I'm like, I need to read that, especially that one. Cause it was about like something to do with like, something to do with like emotionally unavailable parents or something like that. I'm like, I need to read that. I do. So I
That's the other
can
thing too. I
do,
need books.
so I can do goal number 3 and continue to heal. Hello?
Right. Hello. Because that is too. Some books that I read like, oh, because I'm gonna be a therapist. I'm gonna read this book so I can help my clients. No, like I'll be starting a book like, um, The Body Keeps a Score. I
Mm-hmm.
started that book and was like, oh my god, this is a lot, and ended it. Did not finish it
Mm-hmm.
at all. So I didn't do that. So yeah.
Girl, I started, what is it? It's like this one book I started. It's called Emotionally Healthy Spirituality or something like that. I started it, did it one day, and then didn't go back. It's like, yeah. So it's just like, again, being consistent.
Again, right. Be consistent and read the books that you
Discipline.
said you were going to read.
Girl.
Girl.
Okay. So, the last goal I will share is to be more open.
Mm,
Because it's like, you know how you like you want certain things in your life, but you
mm,
actually have to be open to receive them. Hello.
right.
And so like I just want to be more open. I don't know how that's gonna happen. I feel like God and my therapist is gonna help me with that. Because I feel like again, a lot of the things I'm saying I've actually gotten better at because the things that did come into my life last year was like, oh, okay, I was open to receive, you know what I'm
Mm,
saying? But like, um, it's like, yeah, so I want to be continue to be more open and just like not be so like closed off
mm,
to certain things, especially the things that I say that I want. Even though, because like what happens with me is that I get scared, and that's what makes me like it. But it's just like no, like it's okay for you to feel scared. Just continue to press forward. So like, let's really be more open to like money, hello,
hello.
whatever comes my way, a relationship, whatever, like new friendships. Even though that's a little like I am sometimes on that no new friends
Right. Right.
thing because I'm just like, I'm good. But like, whatever things may come, new opportunities to like, whatever they are, opportunities to grow as a
Mm,
person. Not always being so like, not allowing, because I'm going to be scared. That's one of the things I learned. It's like, I'm going to feel the fear, but it's just like
right.
having that courage to press through, you know? And so just being more open, open to love, open to like whatever comes and just having the discernment to know, okay, turn around, go. You know,
Right. Mm-hmm.
being open, but also like knowing. Like I watched this thing that they did, like this panel that they had with my girl Michelle Obama, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like she was talking about friendships and like how like yeah, you can let somebody in, but then it's like you watch what they do and you see if you should continue or not. So
Mm,
having that discernment of like, okay, yeah, I can be open, but then when I need to close up, to be like, oh yeah,
right.
so having that discernment too, but just, not being so like closed off and allowing the fear to like stop things, but just continue to be more open to whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and of course not evil things, right? Because I ain't trying to have no, I ain't trying to stay with Jesus. However, just like being open and like if something doesn't ends up not being right, not judging myself for it, be like, okay, I needed that experience and move on. Because that's a lot of some of the stuff that happened last year. Is like some things I experienced, I'm like, I needed to have that experience. I learned a lot about myself, good things,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm like, okay, next, But yeah, being more open to receive because like it's so funny. Like for instance, with love, right? Like I had some issues with like my family come up. And I remember feeling like, oh, I've always felt like I've had to prove myself to people because of like my different family dynamics. And then like
Mm-hmm.
the way that God worked it out was like I just got this outpouring of love from like my friends. And I was just like, dude, I have love in my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like actually receiving the love from the people who weren't in my life because I am that person. You can tell me, oh, I love you, and it's like, okay, yeah, thanks. But it's like, no, receive it.
Mm-hmm.
Receive it. So it's like, now I'm like, no, I have that mindset of like, I have a lot of love in my life.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't got to be from a man
Right.
or whatever. I have a lot of love in my life. And to just like, because that's the other thing, like my goal well, on a spiritual side, but just in general, I want to live from like a place of knowing that I'm loved.
Mm-hmm.
I live from a place of love and not fear. So I've lived a lot of my life. That was the other goal. I lived a lot of my life from a place of fear. So like
Mm-hmm.
shifting that to like wanting to live from a place of love to where like I know that I'm loved. So I'm not tripping off of what you do.
Right.
You can do or say whatever you want to do or say, but reminding myself you're loved.
Mm-hmm.
No
I
matter what
like that.
that person does, you are loved. So like I'm wanting to get to that point. So like live, be open, but also like live from that place of like, I already know I'm loved. So it doesn't matter what this person says or does to me.
Yeah, I
So
like
yeah.
that. That's good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, my last goal is random as well. I have 2 random goals. But my last goal is to pay down debt. I got some things coming up this year that requires money,
Hello.
and but it also would be great if I don't have debt behind that, you know. So I need to pay that now, and be consistent with that because I will start with that, and then I'll be like, whatever, doesn't okay, whatever. So that's my last goal. Get some things paid off to spend more money. That's it.
And that's good. That's one of my goals too, is to be more
Financially,
pay down,
what? You said be more
financially
financially?
stable, girl. Because of my mind, financially stable and pay down some stuff, and not be not smart. Stack and save.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so there was this thing on Instagram that this singer that I love and follow shared, and it like literally had like you know how they have those things where like you have like all these random words or whatever, and it's all like another like thing, and it'll just say, oh, like the first however many you see is like whatever for the year. So
Mhm.
it was on Vito the singer's Instagram, and he was like, it said the first 4 words that you see is your mantra for the year. And when I tell you, I was like, here for mine. So I'll share mine.
Okay.
It was love, alignment, breakthrough, and gratitude. I was like, I'm here for this. So this is
Oh,
my
I like
mantra
that.
for the year.
Yes.
Love however it comes.
Mm-hmm.
Alignment, because alignment kind of came up for me like near the end of the year. I was like I was hearing a lot of stuff about alignment and being aligned. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
so it's interesting that that came up or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And breakthrough, because the girl needs a breakthrough.
Hello?
And then also like gratitude is like I do need to be more thankful for what I do have because
Mm-hmm.
I'm always looking for like the next thing in
Mm-hmm.
terms of like how I always look at like my flaws, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always looking for okay, I'm always focused on how can I grow? How can I be better? How can I and it's like, girl, like be thankful for where you've come,
Right.
be thankful for where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Don't always be so laser focused on like the things you're not doing, the things that you don't feel like you do well, or the things that you don't have. So being grateful for what I actually have in my life,
Mm-hmm.
and then just being grateful for like how far I've come with certain things and how
Yeah.
I've been. So that is my mantra.
I love
Okay.
it. Yes, I'm here for it. So I did that as well. Rita sent me that post. So my 4 words are love, connection, alignment, and self-care. So, and I think it's kind of funny how like my goals kind of line up with that. So love, you know, that's where I'm at right now. So I feel like that's going to continue into 2023 and beyond. Connection, that one's kind of like, I'm interested. I'm interested to see like
Mm-hmm.
in what way, like
Yeah.
where's that connection coming from? Alignment, that's another one that I'm interested in. Like I kind of feel like I might know, but I could be wrong. And then self-care, obviously, because mm-mm, I don't be doing no self-care. So I need to get better with that. So I like my little 4 words that I got. I'm
Yeah.
here for it.
Yeah. And like I
Yeah.
need to put that up because man. And then like for me, like the breakthrough, I'm like, that's gonna come from the healing. Like, hello?
Right. Right. All this healing that you've been doing, definitely need a breakthrough.
Girl. You have seen some of these tears that can feel the Pacific Ocean. Okay.
You are so silly. But yeah, so I think that I think if we continue to be consistent with all of our goals, by the end of 2023, we will have like a whole different type of like 2023 review and
Yes.
kind of like what goals we met from the year.
Hmm.
And if we were really able to be consistent, but I think that we will be. I think that that'll be good for
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
So I'm here for it. I'm excited to see what this year becomes.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. All right. So, as per usual, you can follow me on the social medias at Deandra.Monique. Um, the podcast at Coffee Hills Convo Pod, and that's IG for both. Rita?
You can follow me at Read the Author, and you can check out our website at chcpod.com and share, some of your goals with us. Share with us your mantra. I'm going to try to
Mm-hmm.
link it down below. But also like, comment, share, subscribe. We're
Yes,
trying to get our
please.
subscribers up. But we also are both working on being consistent so that we can grow because we like to grow. We enjoy doing this podcast together
Yes.
and want this to be something that, can benefit everybody and just be a good time. So
Yes, I'm here
don't
for
forget,
it. Don't
because,
forget.
we on the YouTube and all the things.
Yes, we are. All right. So, y'all have a good, 2023 for now, I guess, beginning of 2023, and we will
Hmm.
talk to y'all later. Okay.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.